Greetings, Empath. My name is Dr. Gyesie, transformational coach and master energy architect here at INNER MILEAGE, where we help folks understand the trauma-informed basis of limited self-beliefs and how to take inspired action to create and live a resonant life right here, right now. Today I want to talk about the healing journey for an empath and why boredom and nothingness mean you're transforming. So often, after escaping narcissistic abuse, an empath may ask themselves, why does it feel like nothing is happening? Why does this healing journey feel empty? The truth is, you're not failing. You are in the furnace. And boredom is not the absence of transformation. It is its crucible. And stillness is not stagnation. It's the reprogramming chamber of your soul. You're not lost. You're being rewritten. And this is your holy void. Let's decode it spiritually, scientifically, and energetically. And I want to start with the default mode network, which is the way you see the world, becomes highly active during rest. And for empaths recovering from trauma, this phase, characterized by boredom, is when the mind retrieves memories and unconscious beliefs for integration. Further, research done by many, including Deutsch, illustrate that healing is not additive, it's subtractive. And in neuroplasticity, synaptic pruning means you unlearn survival behaviors. Boredom signals that trauma or trauma-driven fight or flight programs are dissolving, meaning that you're not downloading something new, you're deleting all that malware and viruses in your consciousness. Further, borrowing from polyvagal theory, the dorsal vagal state mimics depression, apathy, and disconnection, meaning it is not regression, it's an evolutionary defense resetting of your neuroception of safety, meaning that silence is the portal through which your vagus nerve reestablishes calm, presence, and trust. This is why nothingness can feel scary. Your nervous system associates quiet with danger due to the narcissist's weaponization of calm before chaos. And when you come to the sacredness of stillness and silence and boredom, in Buddhism, for example, the moment of dissolution, banga, precedes insight, vipassana. And the illusion of self formed by narcissistic imprinting must collapse before clarity arises. So the boredom you feel is the false self dying. And when you come to Dzogchen, when you think about emptiness, emptiness is not nihilism. It is the luminous spaciousness, the infinite intelligence prior to form, meaning you're not bored, you are encountering your original essence before language. And in Christian mysticism, think about the hidden God. So St. John of the Cross taught that spiritual dryness is a refinement fire, where divine intimacy is concealed, not absent. God's silence is not indifference, it's initiation. And in Sufism specifically, Rumi and Hafiz often reference the desert of the heart, meaning try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And the empath's void is the exact moment where the fire of purification meets divine surrender. Now, when you come into looking at this from a quantum, even mathematical perspective, because it's always important to put this within a context of proof and science, right? Because nature is science, spirituality is science. According to the second law of thermodynamics, systems must pass through entropy to reorganize at a higher level. Systems must pass through entropy, right? So thermodynamics, movement, entropy, destruction, rubbing. Boredom is inner entropy. It's your inner energetic system destabilizing the old blueprint. Right? High entropy means high potential, as in information theory. Now we go deeper into the quantum field. Superposition means that all potentialities exist simultaneously until observed. So when you're bored, you're not lost. You are at the 0 point where infinite timelines collapse into your next embodiment. And the narcissist collapse you into their timeline, your boredom is breaking that contract. Now, when you go further into healing, you realize that healing requires apoptosis, meaning cell death for rebirth. And trauma survivors often need deep stillness for the immune system, the gut-brain axis, and limbic system to reset. In other words, silence is not stasis, lack of movement. It is a sacred biological rebalancing. See? A sacred biological rebalancing. So when you think about the esoteric architecture of boredom, and here we'll borrow from alchemy, or we look at the alchemical process from nigredo to rubedo, from the dark phase to the spiritual gold, right? So the transformation in alchemy is as follows. Nigredo meaning the black phase, chaos, emptiness, despair. That transforms into albedo, which is the purification process, the firing process, emerging insight. That leads to rubedo, which is integration, spiritual gold, i.e. your boredom is the kind of early phase, the blackening phase. You are in the blackness before the red sun arises, from nigredo to rubedo. Nigredo, albedo, rubedo. The Visiga Pisces symbolizes creation emerging from the void. This pattern is present in the womb, the pineal gland, and the early embryonic formation. So your silence, if I can put it this way, is how you connect to this geometrically congruent alignment with the God force preparing to create. You see, in the Kabbalah, Da'at represents hidden knowledge on the tree of life. It's not always visible because it's the sacred silence spoken between truths. Your boredom is Da'at. It's almost like the space between your thoughts or the space between your breath. It's the sacred unknowable becoming known in you. Do you see the whole kit and caboodle? This is how it works. So all of this is to help you escape the hell realm of narcissistic abuse, realizing that hell isn't just fire. Hell is chronic emotional dysregulation, enforced duality, and weaponized invalidation. And the narcissist traps the empath in emotional time loops where peace feels safe. Now, when you realize that this creates trauma bonding, because intermittent reinforcement causes dopamine addiction to the abuser. And when that bond breaks, the empath experiences a dopaminergic crash. That's often seen as boredom or depression. But this is withdrawal from chaos. That's purification. Because we possess heightened mirror neuron activities, meaning that we absorb the narcissist's false self as our own. Therefore, boredom is not numbness, it's the absence of the psychic possession of the narcissist. You're not empty, you are finally sovereign. And if any of this resonates with you, if I can be of help to you, type transform in the comment section and let us know what your experience has been. So it's important to realize that in Vipassana, it's important to observe each sensation like a scientist watching a subtle stone. And the nothingness will reveal micro movements of truth. This sharpens the inner eye, your empathic claircognizance. And you realize that in heart-brain coherence, a lot of the work by Dispenza and others, aligning your breath, feelings, and awareness to your heart field creates measurable coherence. It happens when you meditate or you sit in stillness. And this coherence dismantles trauma patterns, it rewires your perception, and opens timelines, you see? So when you do all this, on the other side is clarity, internal validation, and you don't just hear the divine, you become a frequency others don't hear. So the empath feeling empty, you're not broken, you're not behind, you're not being punished, you're being purified. The boredom you fear is the exact thing that breaks the chains of spiritual slavery. Sit in it, Let it burn and become the music of your own resurrection. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and realize there's absolutely no one like you. Keep on ascending. Peace.